Nikki Ebony is always number one. Okay.
You can play that one first.
Legally, Azode, Eidoba, one Gazo, la 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 la, Assalamu alaikum. Alhaji, come inside, sit down. I dey arrange all the market. Alhaji, don't tell it again. See how you look sophisticated. You want to tell me? You look very sophisticated. Absolutely. This is how men should dress. Absolutely. You know, when I was coming, all the young girls were looking at me and they were laughing. Because you look sophisticated. Absolutely. And let me tell you something. If men are dressing fine like you like this, there will not be the issue of rape. Because girls with Thomas...
Well. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're back here again this evening. And now I can see it's Helen. Paul is ready for us. But before I begin to talk to her, we are going to play one or two videos. Thank you so much for joining us and for your patience always. Dr. Helen Paul. How are you? Dr. Helen Paul. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, sir.
Yes. Dr. Helen Paul. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, sir.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, sir.
We are having some connection issues. Okay, I think it's better now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Better. Fantastic. Sorry, I'm trying to get a particular video I want to play. Please give me 1 second.
It's good.
Yes, these connections are. I can't. We uploaded the video and we're still searching.
It's fine, sir. Good to have me. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
We hope we get the video. The video is so important.
Wow, what video is that?
It says video saved, but we can't locate it. Anyway, we'll go ahead with the ones we have here for now and see if it's still loading. Okay, we've been watching and enjoying your videos here. We hope our viewers too will enjoy it. So before we continue, we would play a song, which is our usual protocol.
Okay.
And come back for the introduction.
Thank you. The Son of God is lifted. The Son of God is lifted. The Son of God is lifted. Oh, lifted. The Son of God is lifted.
The Son of God is lifted.
The Son of God is lifted. The Son of God is lifted.
Yes, yes, yes. You are the daughter of Jehovah and always be lifted high.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Amen.
So it's good to have you. I've been following you for a long time.
Thank you.
start by thanking you for the surprise you gave me on that day.
Thank you, sir.
Imagine a day will come that you will do such a thing for me without me asking for it. That's the beauty of it. And thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's the video I was looking for. We saved it, but I don't know. Technology sometimes can be complicated. So, but that's
Yes, sir.
thank you for
Thank you, sir.
that kind gesture. So, how is your family today?
Well, fine, thank you. And thank you for helping me psychologically during COVID, the lockdown in Nigeria.
Uh, it's still crazy, but we thank God for life. That's very important. Okay, while I was doing a research on you, I was doing a research about you, your life. I realized that the facts are not too clear. Someone will write that you were born in 19 something, another one will write that you were born in 19 something. Just a minute, please. What's that? You've seen it? Huh? There's no way. Let me see. We're trying to see if there is another way we can. Okay, we'll manage.
Why do you do like this now? You're going to see great people about you. I was coming to see you on a very important issue. Yes, that you were paying attention to people that say you're 60 years by the trend. They never that one long. Don't answer them. They are buffoon. They are buffoon. Your birthday went viral, they are talking. It's enough for your birthday to go viral because what your eye have seen in this society, it is not a small thing. Dele Momodu, I remember those governments that time when they were frustrating you because you are discussing the truth of the country. If not for the society we are, Dele Momodu, by now you should even be in Senate. You should even be the head. You are a good journalism who tell the truth, nothing but the truth. They are complaining. Let them wait now. By the time you do your hate yet, I'm sure they will cry. I'm telling you. Just start there enjoyment. I'm telling you. The cloth I want to wear for your 90th birthday, I have seen it. Only that is yes, sir. Yes, sir. If not for they would tell them the way we wanted to do your birthday. Wanted to shut down Third Mainland Bridge. Everybody will know. Happy birthday, my dear. Happy birthday. But yes, my internet finished on the way when Samuel Posu was performing. Abi? I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Next people are born in May. I don't know about you, July. They love what that mama. I'm sending my regard. And I hope I get there. All right. That's right. All right. You shake. All right. Dele. That's right. To Ghana, change the face of Ghana. If you want our country, I'm sure you will change the face of our country. I have a girlfriend.
Wow, that was just awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So now, before we come to the nitty-gritty of your acts and everything, so I want you to tell us, because we are recording this for posterity, we want every interview we conduct to be a reference material. Because if you go on Wikipedia or Google right now, there are all kinds of stories from different blogs and everything, so we don't know which. So can you tell us from the beginning, who is Helen Paul? Everything. You've told me a bit about your story before, and that moved me to say, no, I must talk to this lady because you'll be able to encourage others. People might see you today and think you just got where you are in one day, but that's not the story.
Okay, so my name is Helen Paul. I am an half caste, born in Lagos, but trained by an Edo woman. So I have the right to say I'm from Edo State as well. The reason I say I'm a Lagosian is because I was born in Lagos. If you are born abroad, you say you are an American. So I'm a Lagosian by birth. And by the one we met on grad, according to culture, I'm from Edo State. That's my mother's side, and I'm always very proud to say me Kukuni Baba. So if we're trying to claim a father's side, I'll say I'm from the heavenly place, and I'm so happy to claim that. Then Helen Paul, I'm a very playful.
Just slowly. I want us to take it slowly. Why do you say you don't have a father? Were you of immaculate conception?
Well, according to the story I heard growing up, born out of rape. I don't have any particular father, but I have an heavenly father because I think things even work for me beyond my expectations sometimes. So, and I've learned all my life to cast my cares and just talk to God, the one that knows all without you talking, the ones that knows the end from the beginning. So I'm comfortable. So that's why sometimes I write on Instagram, I'm comfortable in my space because that's when I have time to focus and think and talk to the person that I don't see, but that listens and love me unconditionally. But I don't feel any pity. I don't feel bad about it. And I don't know why God has blessed me with so many fathers at the end of the day. You are there to father me. There's this man called Chief Ikuku, from nowhere, just took an interest in me. When I was running my PhD, the man would just send money to me without me even asking. It's from Warri. Without me even, he just took interest in me. So I have many people like that, like the professors in school, in fact, even to mothers, like my supervisor in school, Professor Osita, like my professor in University of Lagos, Associate Professor Felix Amorua, Professor Durone, Professor Ahmed Jerima. I just see that at the end of the day that they are running positions of parents. They are not even just running as lecturers. They are so interested. So God is so mindful of me. It makes all things work together for my good. Sometimes I sit down and I look at myself. I say, do I deserve this? I don't even know how things are working. People are really ready to achieve this. All I just do is cast my cares and live a conscious life. And when I say a conscious life, I'm conscious of the one that really loves me, both to will and to do, and that is the sovereign God. So I'm sorry, I'm not preaching or something, but I'm just letting you know that I'm not supposed to be pitied because I'm even doing very better than those that think that they have it all, because I have the best of the best.
Wow. At what stage did you realize that you didn't have a father like the rest of your friends, your
Oh,
classmates?
I grew up knowing that from my childhood days. Statement from aunties. I was trained by my great-grandmother, late great-grandmother. And every time, sometimes in the middle of the night, you just see Mama crying, El Senova, she speaks Pidgin and Edo, El Senova, Omo no more, El Omo Nenwega, oh, like, oh, my child, the one that doesn't have a father, God, please help me father this child, help me take care of this child. Oh, when it's time for inter-house sports and we're looking for clothes to wear and they're saying yellow house should pay for so amount of clothes for their inter-house sport, Mama begins to ask people around to support her, lesson, she actually gave the very best, but by telling me my story, I got to know myself on time. Sometimes, naturally, I'm a sanguine. I want to play. I want to make noise. I want to look for trouble. I want to fight. So when they come to report me to Mama usually will say that you where you not get person. You not get papa, you not get mama, you dey enter wahala. Make you know yourself, so I grew up hearing it, but it worked for me positively.
Wow. So tell us about your primary school, secondary school days, your recollection.
Well, I born in Fadei, but in Fadei, Fadei Yaba, Lagos. Went to Onoyade Community Primary School. I think Onoyade is school 2, so we have school 1, school 2. Then from there proceed to Jibo High School. Had a competition somewhere in Abuja, I think in 1998. I couldn't go back to school. When I came back, Mama was already getting
Mama very old, and my mother had to come and pick me. I cried. I didn't want to change my school away from Fade. I wanted Fade. So they still changed me to mainland high school. And I remember that growing up, Mama used to say that if I offend anyone, she, according to her pidgin, say, if Helen offend any of una for this compound or any family or anybody, men are not beat am o. Men are just call reporter to me. Now by myself, I go beat my pikin. Anybody will help me beat my pikin, God go against them. I grew up hearing that. And according to my traditional name, she used to call me Omo Naigbe, a child you don't beat, a child you don't touch. You know, that's what she used to call me. Sometimes when she wants to beg me to eat, she say, hey, Omo Nomo, Omo Liro, Omo Naigbe. And when they call me that Omo Naigbe, it makes me feel like anybody just report me to Mama, Mama will beat me. Mama does not have much energy, so the flogging will not be so tight, you know. So Mama gave me that that pet name, and till date, I don't feel like I lack anything. And I was able to cry that I want mainland high school, and they changed me to mainland high school. So for mainland high school, we finished. I think I didn't make my literature in English, and I had to go to Bejide Memorial College for an external exam, which I made all my results, casting my case to get into the university. So I tried Ife. It didn't work because I just wanted to go to Ife because my church, everybody was in Ife, and they were always talking about Great Ife, Great Ife. So I wanted to go to Ife. So I think the circle which you belong really matter. The circle then, everybody was in school. If you're not in school, you're not okay. So I wanted to be in that circle of, I went to Ife. So, but Ife didn't work, and I tried Uni Ilorin. Uni Ilorin worked. But before we could gather money, myself and my mom, to Uni Ilorin, by the time I got to Uni Ilorin, we heard that admission had closed 2 weeks ago, and there's no way I could register. I was so ashamed to go home because my mommy had gone to share testimony. Praise the Lord, my pikin don't enter school. Parents have started using that to scold their child. You see, Ellie is focused. Will you not focus? How do I go back to say I didn't get into that school? So I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to tell my mom about it. So I stayed in the performing art department of the University of Ilorin, saying I will stay here. I don't know how I'm going to do it. To God be the glory. God sent an helper in person of Associate Professor Felix Amorua, who was a lecturer then at the University of Ilorin, performing art department, the dance lecturer. Then it was Mr. Felix Amorua. So the man saw me in the evening, and the man said, come, are you not the girl that they said missed admission? I said, yes. He said, this is to 8. What are you still doing in this department? Only you. Then I started crying, sir. I don't know where to go. I don't want to go and tell my mommy that I did not get admission. I don't want to tell any bad news. I will be sleeping here. I don't mind. And the man said, this is dangerous. You can't be sleeping outside. You're in a university environment. They could take advantage of you. So let them take advantage of me, but sir, you can help me. I can never forget. And the man said, well, I don't know you before, but if you don't mind, come to me. Let me give you shelter. You're like a younger baby to me. Casting my cares, I didn't even think of anything. I just followed. I followed him to his house. He gave me a room and said, stay here. And I said, sir, are you married? He said, yes, but my wife had gone to serve. I said, okay. So I started living with him. And anytime he's going for class, he'll just tell me, you can eat anything you like from the kitchen. You can cook. You are my younger sister. I don't know why. My spirit is just saying I should take care of you. I said, thank you very much, sir. So after I just said, sir, can I follow you to class? He said, yes, you can follow me. So I followed him for his lectures, and I started following him for classes. Even many students didn't know that I wasn't a student. I participated in their dance and their practicals. And when it's time for us to write attendance, it would tell me to just write any number. But I should make sure that maybe it's 10 or, I can't remember already. I should just write any number. So I kept imitating people's number, and I would just right. After a while, I just told him that, sir, I'm ready to go to Lagos now. At least school is going on holiday. He said yes. So I came back to Lagos. Everybody thought I came for holiday. I started rushing to write exams again, which I did. But I couldn't make school again. So luckily for me, I got an opportunity to work at Eco Real Mix Studios, Eco FM. around the LTV8 compound. So I started working there as a receptionist. My mom heard of it one day and called me. One year, Waleko, you are in Lagos. Why didn't you go back to school? And I said, I'm doing IT. My mom, of course, but the woman don't really read books. She just said, hey, kilo jebe. I said, industrial training. My mother said, okay, people say that IT, but it's so fast. I said, they rushed it, you know. But I was in the Choreomic Studios working every time when I met the late Alade Aromire. And the man said, there's something about you I can't place. I don't know why I like you. What can you do in times of TV? I said, I don't know. He said, you are very firm and I can train you to be a producer. I said, well, sir, what is a producer? And he taught me. Then I said, I'm looking for a job, but this job, I can't leave it for now. And the man gave me an opportunity to resume your Tommy Television for 6, and I usually will close for 12. So I resume Echo FM in the morning for 8 in the morning. I close for 5:36, and I resume this communication. That is your Tommy Television. I resume that for 6:30, and I close 12 or 1 in the middle of the night after a particular program, and I sleep in the studio. So I did that for years. While doing that, God was training me in the entertainment industry, and that's how I got to know many people. And when the opportunity came, I don't know, I just became very popular, and that's it.
Wow. Wow, wow. But you were determined that you must go the whole hog. So can you tell me how you made it up to PhD level? What happened?
Like I said, I just live a conscious life, and I'm very good in identifying opportunities and seizing it. I'm very good in my private time. I'm always with a pen or paper or biro. I have it constantly ready to pen down anything that comes to me on a constant basis. So I'm very, like my friend would say, Helen or Buru, but that doesn't mean that I am Buru. I'm sensitive. I pencil down names. Sometimes friends that wished me happy birthday, the time they posted, when they posted, is it on a story? I'm sorry, some people don't like that, but I'm very observant, so I pencil it down, and I'm very sensitive. Who is who in my life? At what point did this person change? Am I the one that is lacking? Is it my attitude? Do I need to fix something? So a conscious life that helped me identify people that really are ready to take me on. Like I said, I don't think I'm the most brilliant child. I just feel that once I see the people that God has sent to me, I just pencil it down and I begin to make conscious effort in keeping the communication, in submitting to learn, in getting things from them. Like I remember when I discussed with you and I was telling you since when I've been following, what I noticed when you left the country, what made you leave the country, how you started changing the other country. I told you about it, and that's when I took an interest and likeness, but I didn't reach out, but I was just learning from afar, and I'm very good at doing that. I just learn from afar. I don't need to write I love you, but I'm following and I'm learning. And sometimes I go into prayers with it and I see that those people are also interested in me. Like them, some of them are like, Henny Paul is too playful. But the woman that supervised me for PhD just called me and said, I don't know why everybody is always just complaining about you, that you are noisy, that you are troublesome. And I think anytime you write, she's an Igbo professor, but she's a professor, she's an Igbo woman, but she's a scholar. She's very intelligent. But she said, but every time I read your paper, your writing is fine. You dot your I's, you cross your T's. And that shows that you know what you're doing. So I think you should mellow a little bit. And I said, okay, ma, I will change. So anytime I'm in a class, I'll be quiet. Then sometimes she will call me, why not yourself? Be yourself. This is not my Helen. I like a will by no. Which one do you want me to do? But I noticed that most times I will go to her, Mommy, I don't understand this. Mommy, I read this literature and I don't get it. And she said, you are so interested to learn. I don't need a child to be very brilliant. I need a child who is ready to learn. And that is who you are. So I submitted under her. And I noticed that she carefully mentored me. Then another professor now in University of Louisville, Kentucky, in person of Dr. Otun Rashid, also took a likeness to Helen and would consciously keep up, consciously would help me. So I would say the place of leadership, being a discipler, and of course, consciously being consciously submitting to be properly discipled, really helped me. So I would say people, when they say "Eniyan laso eyan," that's what I think I have working for me, and I bless God for that.
So how difficult was your field of studies? Could you just give me like flashpoint?
I won't lie, very, very difficult, especially sometimes when you want to just express yourself in a certain way and you have your professors telling you you can't write this kind of word. You have to, this is how scholars write, and you have to start changing. So changing is not easy, but it's for the good. So it wasn't easy. Then secondly, having to combine school, work, and family. I remember for like 2-3 years of my PhD, I was not in the house. I had to stay inside the University of Lagos in the hostel. I took an hostel. And like I said, having people around you makes life sweet. So I have people who were working in the house, taking care of the kids. Sometimes when they're coming back from school, they'll have to branch my hostel. I couldn't live in our house in Lekki. I was living inside Unilag. My husband had to move and join me in Yaba. We rented a place in Yaba and running things together. So then, of course, sometimes being in school and you want to have your defense, you're so scared because one lecturer have said something like, "Oh, do you think this is where you are reigning? You think you are here? No, you can't just be an entertainer and think you can have it all. You can't bring this kind of hearing to like, hearing co-presentation, you know." But I had to learn that P is for, politics, H, humility, and D, diplomacy. So you have to apply these three and know.
For politics, H for humility, D for what?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Wow, PhD. Wow.
Humility. So
okay.
So I had to do that. And while I was doing that, I didn't want to feel like a failure. Or sometimes when I feel tired and frustrated and I want to achieve, maybe I write, I need to achieve this PhD by 2000 and maybe 16, 17, and it's taking time. I remember then I would leave it for a while, apply for another course. And while doing that, I'll just apply for a part-time course. So Saturday, Sunday, I'll go for those lectures. So that was how I was able to have my MBA and MPA, So I had those ones to it. And I did some professional courses like storytelling, the art of storytelling, the communication skills. I was doing other things to distract myself. And I realized that while trying to do that, it was also helping me in terms of academics to apply, the same thing I learned here, apply it, and everything is interwoven together. So I learned greatly while doing that.
So along the way, you learn a lot of, did you read a lot of literature, literary works?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yes, I love
Yes, of course, there's no way you do theater that you won't read a lot of books. A lecturer can give you close to 18 literature books for you to read and analyze, and we do that. But in PhD, your focus will be your primary. And my primary then, of course, I wrote about the Nigerian stand-up comedy as an alternative form of theater, reviving our conventional theater, bringing reasons why people should come to, to the theater, the conventional theater we know about, using the stage, the lights, the costume, the props, and of course, audience reactions, so that's what I did.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, before we continue, let's calm you down. I can see you're already very, very, very hot. So
in fact, I don't really like being too serious. I feel like I'm too serious.
But that is one of the hallmarks of being a scholar. Scholars are usually very hyper, very serious, and as a PhD holder, you're also a teacher. So you are teaching us, and I can tell you that your fans are enjoying
it. That's a separate life. I really like to be seen as a playful comedian or serious lady. That's what I want to give.
fullness. Don't worry, we will get there. You know, we will.
My darling, my darling, my darling, my darling.
Yes, yes, yes. She's beautiful and talented. You are very right. That's one of the comments I'm reading out there. Yes,
Thank you.
again, I had wanted to ask you. I know that my good friend Richard Mofedamijo went back to school to read law. He was already a superstar. So how does it feel being a superstar student?
Well, to me, I'm so sorry. I don't see myself yet as a superstar. I've just started. Um, Superstar differs. Like I did a skit today saying you're not known all over the world yet. At least Michael Jackson is known in Egypt, was known in Egypt, was known in India and all of that. I'm only known in my local, so I'm still a local champion. So I'm working, so I've achieved a little thing on time before becoming the superstar that I want to be. So I'm just a work in progress.
No, trust me, you're a continental star. And at any
It,
rate, you were in school in Nigeria where you were known. So how did that affect you in your interactions with your fellow students?
Okay, because maybe my first degree I studied theater art and of course techniques of acting and styles, and of course there's no way you do acting that you won't know a lot about psychology. So I know that as a student I'm playing a role as a student. So I don't go with an air of the superstardom. Like I say, I'm very good in differentiating. If I want to come to you as a disciple, you know, that I want to learn from you, I will totally submit and leave the family background, leave everything. So you might discover outside later. But for me, I just want to get what I need to get. I remember telling my friend here in America, I said, oh, I don't mind being a receptionist in Tyler Perry's studio, but all I know is I must penetrate America. And so like reception, I said, yes, because it's not my kingdom. So in my kingdom, I can be forming king. But when you get to a place where you want to take over, you have to submit and learn. You know, so that's who I am. So I didn't really have any difficulty mixing it. But sometimes I see people in the University of Lagos, students saying, is this Helen Paul? She's not even fine in real life. Look at how she is. And I'm laughing that, oh, that means I'm playing a great role. Oh, yes, that's good. As a psychologist, I love to play with emotions. As a theater practitioner, you're unpredictable. That's what I say about myself. Helen Paul, the unpredictable. You can't predict me. I'm the one toying with emotions. I'm the one that wants you to laugh when I want you to laugh. I want you to cry when I want you to cry. I want you to keep quiet when I want you to keep quiet. So I'm in control. So I keep researching. So anywhere I go to, is what I want you to see that you will see. So if I don't, for many years, people have related with me, worked with me, played with me, but they never knew that I didn't have a particular father. If you ask me, how's your father? Oh, he's fine. My mom and my dad have divorced. You know how men do now. I give you the story I want to give you, so you don't need to know anything. That's it.
Wow. Okay, can you tell me some of the things you had to do to survive life?
Well, maybe because
Before we go into your career now and everything, but the things you had to do. In my own case, I was a village teacher. I was an errand boy in a bookstore. I was a library attendant. You
well,
know,
I won't say is what I had to do. I would say is life is a ladder. You have to go through it to learn one or two things and make you a stronger person. So some of the things I did that made me a stronger person was having to wash some people's clothes in Ijufag by every Saturday to raise money for myself and my mom to eat. Having to work as a receptionist that have shaped me to be who I am today in terms of dealing with people and, of course, conversations and negotiation skills that I have now. Having to play the role of a fool, knowing that you're not a fool just to achieve a result. So I have done a lot of that. Having to call some of my mates auntie and uncle, which is not easy for many people, just for me to get what I have to get. So it's a process for me that has shaped me to who I am today. So I won't really say, and I'm still doing it. So not that I've stopped. I just want more. You have some people that even the great Wale Adenuga will still say yes, sir, too. So we're all still submitting. So I think I did all of that, and it's okay. It's a story that makes you strong.
Was there ever a time you looked at yourself and you felt a sense of pity? That's why? Why?
I forget all those negative things sincerely on time. I forget things, so I let go of things on time. But I think there are times where I can't pin it down because I let go easily. I just want to move on to the next thing that will make people happy and that will make me happy as well.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, so, okay, now let's get to the beautiful side of life. So, at what stage did that break, started coming in?
Well, the break is still about to start coming in. But
I already see a break for you.
Amen.
So the fact that I'm able to sit and learn from you means that there is something special about you.
Thank you.
I didn't invite you here to lecture you. I brought you here to lecture me and lecture my followers. Tell you that you can see me scribbling down. I'm learning from your nobody knows everything in life. Okay, so I want you to be as relaxed as possible and tell us. Yeah.
So I'm so sorry. Of course, you know the choleric part of me. So this is my choleric part. But I would say different breaks at different times when I never knew I was going to be married to the person I'm married to. I just used to call him Uncle Femi and I liked him. And, and I realized that the guy actually wanted marriage. And people kept telling him, you are too unique for Helen Paul. Helen Paul is a noisemaker. Helen Paul is a fighter. She's always fighting. Why Helen Paul? And he just said, I don't know why. Something just tells me that she's the one I should take care of her. And I remember telling him that I don't want to change my name from Helen Paul to your name. Is that okay? And he said, oh, no problem. So far, you are my wife. And secondly, my children are bearing my name. You are the one that will be jealous of the name, That's a great breakthrough for me. Then in terms of academics, when I got my first master's, then when I go my PhD, a great break for me in terms of my academic career or my academic pursuits. Then in terms of the entertainment career, first break was when I won the Best Nigerian Gospel Singer in 1999 in Abuja, NISO First Award. I remember that I was lapped from Lagos to a part of, I don't know, I can't even remember, before I got to Abuja. They're coming back as well. So the beautiful first female Nigerian comedian in person of Mandy was one of those that also lapped me coming back, and I had my my plaque, my first award, and with the small money they gave me, Nigerian international song festivals then in 1999. Coming back was a breakthrough for me. Then when I started working at a Choreo Mix Studios and Wyclef came, and I don't know what he saw. He just said, there's something about you. I just like you. You're so petite. You're cute. Would you want to come with me? And I said, yes. And Wyclef started taking me around. Then started seeing on newspaper and the new Nigerian sensation with Wyclef John. I'm like, Tani New Nigeria. I'm a receptionist too. Yeah. So it was all over the place. Then my first million job, oh my goodness, and my first 1,000 jobs, just came while I was still a receptionist. And I'm still craving for more of that.
No,
So there are a
don't,
lot of breakthrough records. There are a lot of breakthrough records for me.
no, don't edit it. So let's know about the first 1,000 John. You are not an editor. I'm the editor. So don't edit.
Oh, I also learned editing from you and reading about great people like you, reading about the late Pella, reading about knowing about Adeboye, the late Adeboye. I learned that there's some things as an artist or celebrities that should be kept quiet until you're writing your own book and then you release it. So that is a process.
You are too smart for yourself, Helen. You are too
Daddy, just trying to be like you. Daddy, just trying to be like you.
wow. Okay, so tell us about your different talents. I mean, they said you are a singer, so can you talk to me about? I read it. Oh, I don't know. That's what I read.
Yes, I sing. I started off backing up artists in the studio then because I remember when I did the most popular one, Uncle, please tell us a story by P Square. Then Boy, I don't really want to play your game. Then I also did Ijukwego. Oh, well, it don't happen by P Square. And also did some backup for Yinka Davis anytime she's recording. Then in the Choreo Mix Studios, Olufumi, many people when they come to the studio, then I do their backup, and from there, I discovered that one of my mentor in person of Ayu Adefe and Matthew, who discovered the baby voice, because I didn't even know. I'm just very good with imitating people. But they are the ones that made me start seeing the monetary part of it. That's why I said for my journey, people have really helped me. You don't just have Ayo saying, come and do that voice you did. Then they play the record. Oh yeah, imitate this voice. And I imitate. It's okay, I want to record you now. So I just do it. And next thing I'll see money. Any 300,000, any 200,000. But on the table, on the reception table, my salary was 9,500.
Wow.
Yes.
And you were already a millionaire and you were still going to work as a receptionist.
Yes.
Wonderful. I love your story. Trust me.
Thank you.
Please fire on. I'm enjoying this. Fire on. Tell me
Okay,
more.
so I remember that there's this uncle too called Femio Yewumi who would just tell me, oh, they've paid you so money. Go to this bank, remove so money, and I discovered that they started sending. Then he went to open a PO box number for me or something. So he would just tell me, go to Ikeja. I think you have a mail now. I would go. I started seeing shares certificate from Owando, from ZA Bank, from Guinness, all those shared papers, and I would see my name on it. I didn't know what it was. It was later on I started understanding. I'm like, hey, that's your dividends. I've given them your account. I've sent email. So I've always had people running things for me. I don't know. Like I remember during COVID, you know, I was just depressed. I wanted to see my kids because my kids are here and there was no way I could travel. I remember calling you. I just penciled out all my mentors' name. I'm like, these people, there's no way I will know you. I won't have help. And I called you, I called Honorable Abike Dabiri, I called almost everybody to say, hello, Daddy, I can't see my children, I'm not happy. And you told me, okay, let's try Kutonu Eileen. Shake, I try, bye. Let me, oh yeah, call this person, you know. So I've always had people doing wonders for me when I cast my cares, and I'm conscious. A conscious life has been helping me.
Wow. So did you ever make your own album?
Yes, I did some albums. Like I said, I call myself a recording artist because the work is actually tedious. After recording, you have to be signed to a label. The label gives you the conditions. You have to start going to different radio stations for interviews. So, but I didn't want it to clash because I was already being called a comedian or an actress, and I'm running that already. So I started doing more of recording, just being a recording artist, just record and throw on air, and that's it. But I just know that every gift of God within me must find expression, and that's why I haven't left music or my writing skills or anything. I just keep doing what I want to do.
Wow. Okay, I know it's a cliche for people to say, yeah, God help me, but they say heaven helps those who help them. So what is your strategy? Now, personally, let's leave God out of it. What is your personal strategy for getting successful in life?
Like I earlier said, living a conscious life. So I'm conscious about the relationships I have. I'm conscious about what I say, who I speak to, where I go, who I call family, who I call mentors, who I call teacher. Why is this person in my life? I'm giving a definition of who is this person. What is this person doing in my life? How long do I need to maintain a relationship with this person? So a conscious life has been the thing helping me.
Would you say you are a calculator?
I would say I'm a calculator, and I can also say that I'm selfish.
I didn't want to say that, so that's why I use a milder word, calculator.
Yes, I agree with that. And sometimes I play around using words like my best animal is a chameleon. If I want